Deposition, an ode to the Lode. A volcanic core, a three-headed glacier, and a Cretaceous interior sea walk into a bar. No joke. They've come for the battle of the sedimentary bands. It will be epic. In tonight's lithic lineup, we've got the San Juan Toughs, the Conglomerates, and everyone's favorite, Kidding aside, this valley, this place of space, was built by an energy of kinetic and geologic proportion, the kind that is kinetic, that is possessed by being in motion. Acceleration alone, sustaining the work of a given mass, maintained by gravity. And a couple of guys in town gov pickups. It's a perfectly flat dance floor. Should have been U-shaped, but a keystone feature, its terminal moraine, held it together until, eventually, ancient Lake Telluride topped the terminus and poured over, leaving an oblong dinner plate with a wet, meandering crack right down the middle. Imagine this place without a name. Before it had a marketing department, fireworks and roundabouts. It wasn't us or the ore that created the silted plain for festival weekends. Neither pick nor powder made things go boom in the Cenozoic night. The first characters slithered and stopped. Those heavily armed late Triassic herbivores, the extinct Edisor, they were this land's original vegans. When two-leggeds came, they found that mating grounds are also hunting grounds, that the waterfalls washed their souls, and the coyote was free to ply his trickster wares. But the settled layers of sediment know nothing of this, nor do they care. You're the ones that care. The rich veins filling this district were deposited by ascending hot water solutions, penetrating zones wherever open space was found. Ascending solutions, thinking up where the high glacial amphitheaters held the best seats for the show that would play out, a playbill heralding preservation. Terminology cannot escape me, so here we go. There's flock without the K, F-L-O-C, a small aggregated mass of suspended particles physically attracted to adhesion, charged with removing impurities, like thoughts of marinas and hotels and pink Jeep stands. And then there's flock, the one with the K. That flock came tumbling in, settling like debris and detritus, bearing down like those elk in those fields. A ground mass of fired up igneous folk is a powerful porphyry. The magma cooled deep in their hearts, cooled in two stages to bond and secure the particulate into a texture of many voices. As polarized as it is mineralized, opinion was either coarse or fine-grained. It stratified the populace. Freeze and thaw formed fissures, opened chasms for thought and dialogue. It's hard to sit on a barbed fence. In fact, it's a pain in the ass. So people stood to be counted. And I renamed the town Telluride. They doubled the price. You tripled the effort. Again, the people stood in formation, echoing the Morrison, Dolores McElmo, and like alluvial grains, the fan base spread. Dollars and pennies stacked out like boulders and pebbles. The clock ticked. If only you had $1 for every dandelion, it would have been way less stressful. Saved by the few with much, and the many with little. Those last-minute inclusions, crystallized, edified, codified. A decision to shine like silicates, a reflection of ourselves. Some say like fools, pyritic fools. But lest we forget, the speaker of this house is still by no means us. The ultimate gavel belongs to the force of nature, the gravity-laden hand of her. We gather now, a nano pinch of time later, to honor the moves and flow of this sheltered valley, hemmed in by moral moraine, to see this place of space as it is forever. It's been 10 years, and the weld has held. No joke.
Every time I think from Telluride, and then equidistant shooting impulses of fire, ceaseless to vivify all. Revolutions! In the evolutions of the DNA solutions, not the human convolutions of political pollutions. No bloke should have to choke to breathe the bloody smoke and endure all the dope that our this urban folk are force-fed and white bread to buy. Rednecks know how the cattle go, and the sheep and the pigs at the rodeo, where the 4-H ranch kids show and sell their darling pets to the slaughterhouse vets. Hell yes! For grand prize ribbons and barbecued ribs. Daddy keeps a rifle loaded in his pickup. If you're a predator, he's no host. Mama, she's kicking up her heels at the hitching post so she can catch a little living
before the oven turns to toast.
If we fast food forward where we seem to be headed, even the best will be bedded in a sunset, Sony, big screen, faux dream, Halloween.
Trick or treat.
Where they've stolen all the treats in streets stripped of stars, chock full of cars on their way to the bars. And the trick for the tramp will be holding the lamp so's to be half slick enough to slip past the thick stuff they pour in our path. Fame!
Fortune!
The amenity math, whose sun shines so bright there's no time for fright. And when you fall on your face, you're out of the race. Look, you can't kick the habit, you can't take the heat. So, let's eat, McRedeye says, the sweet meat of anger that feeds into action to halt the reaction of corporate factions, fleecing the flocks, shaking their fists, unleashing their chicken hawks for preemptive hits. Time to call bullshit. In Seattle, their trade talks like Telluride did to the blues and bruised fat cat plan to supersize and infill the glacial till of the valley floor. No way, said the town. It scraped and begged and what a sucker. And owners waited, baked. We didn't swallow or follow, hook, line, and sinker to the gondola, big pond stinker. No! We realized right from the start and shaded our eyes and kept people apart. And you could too, if you dare to band together, senior and teen, for the good of the land, take an earth first stand, toss a wrench in the machine. Let's cut to the heart with a smart green blade and come to the aid of those who oppose Greed's bottom line charade. Let's embrace the wild. Pray for open spaces, saving grace to surround your town like we did our town. Where 7 generations from now, we will enjoy free roaming elk, not a docile herd of cow, no jerk-off, forest, slum, no white boy trophy rum, just the mountains, mother, hum.
Only what The music was written by one of our members who's not here tonight, Donna Bird-Fernald, and the lyrics were written by me. And the next song, I do want to thank the Sirens for giving us permission to sing this song that we thought was the perfect way to celebrate our valley floor. La tierra, el agua, el fuego, el aire, la tierra. One of the greatest gifts, I think, of the valley floor is that it blesses us not just in one big way, but in an everyday way. And last January, as I was listening to the news and driving past it, I realized just how much it inspires us and blesses us. And this is a poem I wrote that day, Self-Talk, after driving past the valley floor. Even after I turn off the radio news, there's still a voice somewhere beneath my gut that hisses, "You should be very afraid." And out the passenger window, I see 3 elk bedded down in the deep snow beneath a spruce. And then I pass them, and looking up the valley at the mountains, where the wind is blowing the snow from the tops in long white curls. I want to be in a different chapter of life, I think to myself. An earlier time when life was easier and people were kinder. Do you ever feel like this? Don't believe it! There is just as many opportunities now to fall in love with the world, and so many chances for us to be of service. I tell myself I was born for exactly this life. Born to see the frosted cottonwood trees on the valley floor as they flood with the low golden light of the morning. And born to wrestle with this fear in my gut. And born to bring them both with me into the world, to do brave and beautiful things.
In the Shinto religion of Japan, kami are spirits that are worshipped. They can be elements of the landscape or forces of nature, as well as beings and the qualities that these beings express. Kami are not separate from nature. but are of nature. They are manifestations of Musubi, the interconnecting energy of the universe, and are considered exemplary of what humanity should strive towards. Kami of the Valley. Helen Newell knew the valley well, walked its flanks, skied its rills. She loved the way dandelions went wild in the spring with strike-it-rich petals, wind-snatched and tossed every which way. Like us, introduced species, pioneers of the high peaks, settlers with city agendas, blooming a season, mining the gold, and then many moving on, away from the Alpengluen's harsh blue air. But Helen Newell stayed, loved this place, until she thought she saw the light fade as the faux facts surfaced, felt dread for her refuge, soon it seemed about to be cut into, carved up into wood blocks and faux stone for the second home trophy amulets of the nouveau riche, mere dirt for the lawyers to deal and be done with. When, to her, it meant more than sanctuary, more than cathedral, almost everything. And so, one night, Helen Newell laid her body down in the icy alpine waters of the San Miguel and gave her bones to the land, her breath to the flow, gave us her beloved, our valley floor.
As I lay down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down, come on down. Oh, brothers, let's go down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river
of your imaginings, a bower in the wilderness, ere you build a house within the city walls. For even as you have homecomings in your twilight, so has the wanderer within you, the ever-distant and alone. Your house is your larger body. It grows in the sun, and it sleeps in the stillness of the night, and it is not dreamless. Does not your house dream and dreaming leave the city for grove or hilltop? Would that I could gather your houses into my hand, and like a sower, scatter them in forest and meadow. Would the valleys were your streets, and the green paths your alleys, that you might seek one another through vineyards, and come with the fragrance of the earth in your garments. But these things are not yet to be. In their fear, your forefathers gathered you too near together. And that fear shall endure a little longer. A little longer shall your city walls separate your hearts from your fields. And tell me, people of Telluride, what is it you have in these houses? And what is it you guard with fastened doors? Is it peace, the quiet urge that reveals your power? Have you remembrances, the glimmering arches that span the summits of the mind? Have you beauty that brings the heart from things fashioned of wood and stone into the holy mountain? Tell me, have you these in your houses? Or have you only comfort and the lust for comfort? That stealthy thing that enters the house, a guest, and then becomes a host, and then a master. And it becomes a tamer, and with hook and scourge, makes puppets of your larger desires. Though its hands are silken, its heart is of iron. It lulls you to sleep, only to stand by your bed and jeer at the dignity of your flesh. It makes a mock of your sound senses and lays them in thistledown like fragile vessels. Verily, the lust for comfort murders the passion of the soul and then walks grinning in the funeral. But you, children of space, you, restless within rest, you shall not be trapped or tamed. Your house shall not be an anchor, but a mast. It shall not be a glistening film that covers a wound, but an eyelid that guards the eye. You shall not fold your wings that you may pass through doorways, nor bend your head that strike not against the ceiling, nor fear to breathe lest walls should crack and fall down. You shall not dwell in houses made by the dead for the living. And though of magnificence and splendor, your house shall not hide your secret, nor shelter your longing. For that which is boundless within you dwells in the mansion of the sky, whose door is the morning mist, and whose windows are the songs and the silences of the night.
Raindrop Prelude by Chopin. A quick little introduction. It actually tells the story of a thunderstorm that's passing through. And this rain is making me very happy right now. It starts off with a gentle rain and the sun is still shining. And then gradually, these thunder, like dark storm clouds start to roll in from the distance. And it gets dark. And then you hear the thunder rumbling softly in the distance. And then it gets closer and closer, and it starts to get more intense. The rain starts coming down really hard, and it's thundering and lightning. It's so loud, it's so intense. Mudslides come down the valley. The Highway 145 closes. You can't get through. This is this intense rainstorm. And then gradually the storm passes by. The rain gets lighter and lighter. And then the sun comes out again at the very end of the piece. And all that's left are the little drops of rain falling from the water petals, or falling from the petals. And so that's what this piece is about. And it's also, to me, about hope. Kind of like the storms in our life that come through and they're intense, but we can find the beauty in them sometimes, and then they pass by and eventually the sun comes out again. So that's what I'm going to play for you.